I met this person. I had my own fish and chip shop, and he was a lot younger person than me, and he came to do some work in our shop. And I saw him. I don't know what you can call this, but everything went around, and I felt like I saw, I would say psychically, like a gravestone, and his name was like Mark on the gravestone. And I thought, what is this? I've never felt, what's happened to me, you know? And I just went off and done my housework and whatever, and tried to forget what I felt. But I felt like I knew this person, and I've never met him before. So as the months went on, he started to follow me everywhere, you know, and I felt like so close to this person. And obviously, as time went on, my husband wasn't understanding about it. Yeah, so I asked him. I went to a funeral one day, and I was coming back, and I thought, I hope he's not going to come around, because he was getting right everywhere I was. He was there, and he was coming down the road. I know this sounds bizarre, but I asked him, "How did you know I've come back?" And he said, "Do you really want to know?" And I said to him, "Well, yeah." So he said, "You called me." So I said, "I called you." "What do you mean I called you? I don't understand this." So he says, "Well, you do it, and then I'll come." So I thought, it's all rubbish, yeah. So I went the next day, and I got up, and I thought, at 11:30, I thought of him, just thought of him, and didn't come. So I said, it's sort of rubbish. And then he comes at 1 o'clock and says, "I couldn't get away, but you did call me at 11:30, didn't you?" And I said, I had nothing to say. I was gobsmacked. And as this went on, I'd done different times, and he was telling me what I was doing, where I was, what I was thinking. So I started to get a bit frightened, you know. It started to unnerve me. I said, what is this? So anyway, I went to my husband, and I told him, and he obviously couldn't understand. None of my family could understand. They just told me to send him away, but I couldn't send him away. And so this went on for about a year. Then I said, I went to the doctor. The doctor gave me tranquilizers, didn't help. I went to the priest, so he gave me a blessing. And I couldn't get no answers to this. So my son at the time went to the library, and then that's when this thing started to unfold, when he got books and things on it. And then I went to my first medium, and I was very scared or skeptical of this. And when I went in, and I said to her, I've got a problem, and then she said to me, yes, and I started to tell her, and for once somebody didn't just laugh at me or say, you know, what is this? And so she started telling me that it's a past life thing. So I said, what is that? I don't understand about past life. So she said, well, you need to read anyway, but I'm telling you, this person is from your past life. I said, who is he then? She said, he was your husband in a past life. Oh, this is bizarre. I said, come outside the window. I said, look, this is a young person. Can't be my husband. She said, he is. So I said, so what does he want? She said, I don't know. You need to work this out. Well, as time went on, I went to different people to ask for help, because I felt trapped in this. And they then sent me for regression. And under regression, I was screaming. I wasn't giving any information, and I was totally shook up. But they put him under regression, and he relates of this past life occurrence that happened. And obviously we were husband and wife, and we were arguing, some back in the 16th century. I know this sounds funny, but he was leaving me for another woman, and I had 4 children, and I didn't want him to take the children. And he was very nasty to me in that life, and I stabbed him, and it ends with me going into a prison, which under regression I did remember, and it was in Cornwall, and I ended that lifetime. In this lifetime I met him again, and we needed to work this out. He was again being, you know, nasty, and whatever he was, he wouldn't go away, and it was for me to basically, you know, not kill him again, if you know what I mean. And it ended with, when I was ready to send him away, he was coming in because was allowing him because it was guilt brought from the past. Now, if this be true, I don't know, but it did happen. And it caused me a lot of trouble with my husband. We separated for 2 years, and I needed peace and quiet to recover from this after. And my husband persevered, although he didn't understand what happened to me, but he persevered. And we came back together as a family and put this occurrence behind us. But it still was with me, the questions, why this happened to me. I can't even tell you fully how it was at the time, but it did happen. And when I went on to Jan's course, I didn't have this in mind. And then I saw another lady who is relating something very similar, and another lady who's... So then that really made me feel better, because here I am saying all these things that normal people don't say, do they? So, you know, it did really make me feel better, because all those years I was trying to tell family or friends, they just couldn't understand it. You know, do you know what I mean? So, you know, I feel better for that, because it's put closure on that occurrence. And I want to learn more. I want to gain more knowledge. And I feel that Jan will help me with that.
I got in touch with Jan for healing because I was getting really bad headaches, and I went to Jan. My daughter started going to Jan for healing, and she suggested I went as well, and she started to heal me, and she found I had something in my third eye. It was a lump of metal, not literally a lump of metal, but in the actual etheric body, I think they call it. And she took out this metal. The day I went, I felt really,